Welcome everyone that has joined us via Teams. I will ask that everyone stays muted. If you do have questions, send them in the chat. I may not be able to address them during the meeting, but if you will drop your question in the chat, then I will be able to respond because the chat will stay live even after you log out. So again, if you have any questions that come up, I may not be able to see them while I'm presenting, but I will be able to respond to your questions after the meeting, and you'll still be able to get those updates via the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Good evening. Thank you. All right, we can stop the little ambiance music there, can't we? All right, first and foremost, thank you all so very much for being here this evening. What a great turnout. I know that Thrilla is in the back going, I sure do hope our PTA meetings look just like this. We are going to definitely get to the building update because I know, that's why everybody is here. But since I have an active audience, I'm going to take advantage of it, if you don't mind. So this year at Martha Turner Riley Elementary School, our theme is building our future together. And the values that we are really going to hone on are relationships, support, and growth. We did some really great things last year. So we laid a really great foundation, and we're going to continue to build on that foundation to reach even greater heights this upcoming school year. Our mission at Riley Elementary is that we are dedicated to creating a peaceful environment where each student is treated with unconditional positive regard and acceptance. And our value statement here is to be the best you can be. And that applies to the adults in the building as well as our students. We have, for the upcoming school year, really worked very hard to try to outline, be very transparent and very clear in what our student and parent expectations are. And so we have adopted a campus handbook, which you can find an electronic copy here. It is case sensitive when you get to the MTRSHB. Remember that because Martha Turner Riley Student Handbook is what it stands for. You will also receive a paper copy on teacher night. Because there is a prize awaiting your students in the form of a free 100 or a free E if you are pre-K through first grade. If you return that slip that you reviewed the handbook by the first Friday that we're back in school. So you're going to get a paper copy on that Thursday for Meet the Teacher, and we will also slip one in your student's backpack on Monday if you haven't gotten one yet. So just some daily schedule reminders. So the doors open and breakfast does begin right at 7:30. Teachers pick up their students from holding areas no later than 7:55 because we like to get a very good jump on the day with instruction beginning at 8 a.m. Students who arrive after 8 a.m., they are marked tardy in their classrooms. If they come after 8:20 or after, it's a what they call T99 absence, which is actually partial day absence. So being on time is super important. So if you arrive after 8:20 but before 10 a.m., it is a partial day absence, and students picked up before 10 a.m. or dropped off after 10 a.m. will be counted as absence. And then there's no early pickup after 2:30. So if you schedule a doctor's appointment, for instance, in the middle of the day, totally fine. It's really hard to get after hours appointment, right? If you were to drop off your student, right, at morning arrival, and you came and you picked them up, you would need to pick them up. I'm going to try to speak a little bit louder for those in the back. We're packed up, guys, so it's hard to find the things that we need right now. But if you were to pick up for a doctor's appointment after 10 a.m. and you come, had a doctor's appointment, please make sure you pick up before 2:30 in the afternoon. Because once we hit 2:30 in the afternoon, our staff gets really thin. So being able to pull kids out of class as we're winding down instruction and preparing for dismissal becomes a little chaotic. There are some arrival changes. So in previous years, we had two drive-through options. You could drive through the bus lane and drop off, or you could drive down Lippett, pull past the front of the school and be able to drop off actually on Lippett. The problem with having two drive-through options is that meant we needed to direct traffic. And while most of us follow staff directions when it comes to directing traffic, not everyone followed, and that was putting my staff in danger.
So we will not be stopping traffic and all of that in the upcoming school year. If you are driving and dropping off, all vehicles in motion will be going through the bus lanes. If you are wanting to park your car and walk your child up to school, we do ask that you park along the school side of the street so that you do not need to cross the road. Okay? So you can park along Nearing and Walcott, along Lippin and Walcott, along Sunland and Walcott. But just please be on the school side of the street. One, we will avoid blocking our neighbor's driveway, and it also means you don't have to cross in front of traffic. Another little reminder that you may not think of unless you are a staff person trying to help children out of the car. If you have children who are still using a 5-point harness in their car seat, please make sure that that car seat is on the passenger side so that the staff who are opening doors for your children can have an easier time of helping them get out of the car without having to move into the flow of traffic. We have also made a formal request with the city to hopefully install some speed bumps to also help with just managing traffic a little bit better on Lippin. And then as a reminder, staff parking lot is only for staff. So please, for the safety of your children and for the well-being of my staff, please do not drive to the staff parking lot and try to drop off. Because staff are not looking for people to be walking through the parking lot that are yay high. Okay. Dismissal. We are going to maintain the sibling protocol where older siblings go and meet up with the youngest sibling that attends Riley so that parents only have one pickup location. So if you have a 5th grader and a 2nd grader and a kindergartner, all of your children will meet up with your kindergarten students and they will all be ready for pickup at the kindergarten wing exit door. Okay? Try to keep it as streamlined as possible. You will be getting on Meet the Teacher Night, and if you don't get it on Meet the Teacher Night, it will also be in your student's bag. It will be a very nice laminated afternoon pickup sign card that you'll put your student information on. We need whoever is picking up your child to have that sign every single afternoon that they pick up, that you pick up or they pick up for you. And dismissal begins promptly at 3:20 and will conclude by 3:30. So please make sure that we've got every kid accounted for on the pickup routine to ensure that everybody is safe. We just don't have after school staff for being able to watch kids beyond 3:30. So it's really important that students are picked up on time. If your child is attending either ECSE 4 or ECSE 5 and they take the bus, that bus will arrive at 3 in the afternoon. Tutoring for this upcoming school year, if your student is invited to attend some tutoring sessions, instead of being on Tuesdays and Thursdays, like it has been in previous years, we're actually moving that to Mondays and Thursdays to accommodate for different staff things that need to happen during the week. Hopefully you've already seen the dress code guidelines that were posted on the PTA Facebook. If you are new to Riley and you only are getting information through the PTA Facebook, you're not getting the phone calls, you're not getting the email, that is because our messenger system is an automated system and it won't roll over new parents until right before school starts. So we're going to do our best to be making sure that everything is posted to the PTA Facebook as well. So if you have not joined yet, please see one of the lovely ladies in the red Riley shirt in the back, and they will help get you connected on Facebook so that you don't miss anything before Power School does its rollover. So with dress up days, we will continue the college shirts and uniform bottoms or college spirit colors on Thursday with a small donation to the food pantry. And we will continue to do swag days on Friday. So there were some questions about what swag is. So swag days are when your child can come and pay $1 and wear jeans, either their uniform shirt or a spirit shirt or Riley colors. Or they can pay $5 and they can come completely decked out. My favorite student to see come on Flag Day is Jude Rodriguez because she dresses herself and she comes dressed to the nines. It's always very fun to see the kids come in their best dress on Flag Friday. There will be some weeks that are just dress up weeks. And so on those weeks, of course, Friday is just in the theme of the Friday, whatever the Friday is. So Red Ribbon Week, Kindness Week, those are different weeks where every day is a different theme. And so there won't be a Flag Day on those weeks because everybody's getting to dress up and have fun on those days, being in the theme of the day.
And that information goes out in the weekly newsletter.
A couple of components that I've been in this district for over a decade now, and it's still confusing even for parents who have been in this district for just as long. There are two things in regard to attendance. One is attendance for credit, and one is truancy, and they are different. Attendance is a critical component for student academic success. And so I wanted to take this opportunity to just explain what these two things were and what it means if you get a letter for one or the other. So attendance for credit includes excused and unexcused absences. And you may be thinking to yourself, I send a note, why should an absence count against me? In the state of Texas, students must be in attendance at least 90% of the school year. And so what that means is elementary with full day absences, if a student misses 17 times in a school year, they will incur attendance for credit time. So they'll have to come and make up that time that they missed, not 17 days worth of time. If 17 absences, an hour of peak time. Now, I want you to think about that number 17. If you had 17 absences, that is about the equivalent of a full month of instruction. So when you're in school for 9 months and you miss 1 month, if you haven't read, there's lots of studies out on how much progress students lose during the summer when we're off for 2 to 3 months. So if we are off for a chunk of time that large, it really can be detrimental to their academic success. According to Texas Education Code and the district policy, a student can be retained based on attendance alone, even if they have good grades. That's why being at school is so very important for the academic progress, but also to ensure that you're matriculating with your peers. What we have talked about is also for the 24-25 school year, parents whose students have to make up seat time, we will be asking that you accompany your student for that seat time makeup.
Because I don't know too many kindergartners who drive themselves to school.
Now, truancy is a little bit different, and the limitations around truancy are much higher. Truancy only has to do with unexcused absence. Right? So there's these different tiers, and you hit these different tiers based on these different parameters. I'm not going to read through all of them because you're not going to remember them. I'm going to send out the slide deck instead, okay? The biggest number, though, that you need to know is that if you have 10 unexcused absences, that's an illegal presence. Okay? Now, in order to help all of us, both the school, your students, and yourself, we are moving our attendance, our excuse note submission to an electronic format. So if you don't have an email address or you don't check your email, it doesn't mean we won't accept your excuse note. What it does mean is that we're trying to streamline and ensure that excuse notes don't get misplaced, they don't get lost, that they are housed in a way that holds us accountable and ensures that your student's attendance is accounted for correctly. Okay? When you go to this link, it pulls up a Google form. It'll ask for some simple information like the student's ID number, their name, the dates of their absences. And it'll give you an opportunity to just write a reason why they were absent. If they hit 4 absences in a row, a doctor's note is needed, and so you can snap a picture of that doctor's note and upload. If all of this sounds very, very scary, about week 3, we're gonna have a few sessions where parents can come in and learn how to use the form if it sounds too intimidating, okay? And there will be a video that will walk you through as well. You can access the video to walk you through the process, or you can come for an in-house session, or we can walk you through the process. You will get, if your child is absent, you'll still get the Power School phone call, but sometimes it's hard to answer the phone during the day. I know it's for me. So Ms. Morales, our CRC, will be running an attendance report at the end of every day for any child who is absent that has an email on file. There is an auto, she has a little process she goes through. It automatically generates an email. Your email will look like this. One update for this school year is that the CRC's office will be closed from 12:25 to 1:25. I want to take care of my person. She needs to have a 30-minute duty-free lunch, and we need some assistance in the lunchroom for 30 minutes too. So there are some things that the downtown office used to do for the CRC that they won't be doing now, and so Ms. Morales' job became a little bit more tedious and a little bit bigger, and it was already a pretty big job to begin with. It does not mean that we can't check out students during this time. We're just asking for a little bit of grace if it takes us a little bit longer than it would when the CRC office didn't close in the middle of the day. Some reminders about visitation, volunteering, etc. When you are visiting during the school day, you must have a government issued ID if you're going to be in the building. That's for if I'm going to volunteer, or if I'm coming for lunch, or I'm coming for a presentation during the school day. You must have a government issued ID. When you get this slide deck, this link will take you to the signage posted on the outside of the building, as well as the Texas Education Code, Dallas ISD policy, and the penal code that all support this stipulation, okay? It is very, very important that we are able to trust the people that come into this building. And so having the government issued ID that we can run through our master system ensures to the best of our ability that the people who come into this building are safe to be around children, okay? So if you've got relatives who want to come and have lunch, just throw out a reminder, hey, make sure you have your ID, because they're going to ask for it when you get there. If you're wanting to volunteer every year, you have to go through the Raleigh background check. And Ms. John is actually here in the back to have some of you sign in. If you have any questions about that, Teacher Knight can answer those questions for you. Even if you did it last year, you do have to submit for another background check every new school year. So wait till about August 1st to make sure that they don't clear out your new submission. And then if you are eager to volunteer, August 1st, go ahead and fill out that form. New for this year, we are asking for parent volunteers. We want you here in this building. We want you a part of the community. We want you a part of your child's education, because it can't be just a school. It can't be just you. We are a team in this together. And because we want you involved in the things that are going on and the programs that are supported by the school, but also by the PTA, we are asking that if you want to be a spectator on field day, that you as a family unit log 15 hours. There are so many ways to volunteer, between helping out with lunch duty, recess duty, coming and reading in the library, helping out the PTA with pumpkin palooza, whether it's in the planning stage or you actually come do the grunt work on the night up. You've got a spring auction fundraiser that the PTA always need assistance with. It'll be really easy as a family unit to get that many hours. And when more hands are doing the lift becomes exponentially lighter, which also means that everything we do gets exponentially better, right? So when I say family unit, I mean, if you've got 3 kids at Riley, we're not expecting your family unit to give $45. Now, if you want to, we will not tell you no, but you are not required to in order to be a spectator on field day. And family unit is, that could be mom, that could be guardian, that could be a grandparent, that could be an aunt, that could be an adult sibling. As long as they've gone through Volley, they are approved, and we'll make sure that they get logged in their hours every time they're here. Some important BOY information. Based on PowerSchool, many of you older students, thank you. It makes the CRC job so much easier. If we can go ahead and start looking through that information, making sure nothing's missing, making sure everything is correct, so that all of our report on the state end is correct. That means we get as much money from the state as possible. So, teacher assignments will be finalized. So if you want to find out your teacher assignment no later than August 5th, make sure that you've enrolled, because it's after you enroll that the CRC brings you over to PowerSchool. When you're brought over to our PowerSchool system, that's when we can assign your student to a teacher. We will have some staff up here starting August 1st to assist with enrollment. Meet the teachers August 8th. Drop and walk will be the Sunday before school starts with TBD on the time. And cheers and tears for pre-K and kinder parents will be the first day of school.
And now what you all have been waiting for. Thank you so much for listening to all of that. Building update.
So, the sad news, we will not be starting the school year in the new building. Now, I met with the staff just right before I walked into this meeting to give them the news. And I'm going to tell you all what I told them. This is the best group of parents and students for this to happen to, and it is the absolute worst group of parents and students for this to happen to. It's the best group of parents and students for this to happen to, because you have proven time and time again that you can roll with hard things. And you're supportive of your students because you know that the best thing for them is to have a positive outlook and say, this will be hard, but we can do it. It's the worst thing to happen to this group of parents because you deserve better. So I've been meeting with the construction team and our project manager and everybody else every week all throughout the summer, and I've been walking the building just about every single week all throughout the summer. It is going to be worth the wait. That is kind of the light at the end of the tunnel. It is looking absolutely beautiful. I walked down the lower grade hallway, and with the exception of missing tile, which we know what that looks like, so it really looks complete to me. It's what the lighting was in, the heating tiles are in, the paint is on the walls, the marker boards are up, the bulletin boards are up, and it does look so beautiful. And I'm so excited when we will get to actually move in. That just unfortunately is not going to be prior to the start of the school year. So, to that end, teachers are going to be given opportunities to retrieve their necessities. It's not going to look like it does in a typical year at Riley with the classrooms completely decked out. Because if you've already read, if you've read the second line, our certificate completion date is September 18th. We spent 6 weeks at the end of the school year packing and doing 100% school. And that was really, really hard. So we're going to unpack what we absolutely need to make it through the first 6 weeks of school. So what we ask from our parents is that you remind us, It may not be as colorful. It may not have all of the things that you're used to seeing on the wall. But don't think for a second that your teachers aren't super excited to have you back and say that you're not going to have an amazing school year. It's not going to be as perfect at the beginning of the school year, but it is going to be just as amazing. And they're going to do a lot of learning. Moving boxes are going to be taken out of the campus, but in addition to it being unsightly, because it is also a safety hazard, and I have been saying that over and over and over and over again, and they have promised me that the boxes are going to be out of our way prior to the food return. We've been coordinating with various departments to make sure that food services brings back all of our kitchen equipment. Yes. Custodial services is starting to bring back our things so that we can keep and maintain a clean building. They've been making repairs, everything from the window that got busted during the storm to putting in work orders, restroom repairs. The director of construction services, he's new to the district. He's only been here for 3 months, and he came today. And he wanted to hear from me what we needed. And I just happened to mention, oh yeah, we let the neighbors come in and take all of our pretty flowers out of his garden because we thought it was going to be bulldozed. And it doesn't look all that great out there. He goes, oh, well, we should send the landscaping crew out to make it look nicer out there. Yes. So, things should start looking quite a bit better over the next few days prior to students returning. I have also received confirmation because I asked. They said, you know, moving in a weekend is going to be a little rough and almost impossible, but we want to be in the building as soon as we possibly can. So I asked, can we start going a little at a time after hours to start arranging things in the classroom so that final push isn't going to kill us? And the project manager confirmed to me today that as soon as furniture is able to be delivered, we also will be able to go in and start putting our hands on things and getting it arranged so that when we move from here one day to the new building the next Monday, it won't be just an endless weekend of work or have things all over the place because we didn't have time to arrange it. So of course, you can get some of the volunteer hours. By helping us when you sign up to do so. And so you got your mom. Before we get to this last piece, what questions do you have? I can't promise I can answer all of them, but I have a pen and paper ready. About the only two things I have in my office other than my computer. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so when the move happens on a weekend,
Yes.
how are they doing the drop off drive? How is that constructed while this building is still in place?
So we've already started making our arrival and dismissal procedures based on new building drawings. So we will have multiple opportunities for families to get that information. Sorry, for those on the teams, the question was, sorry guys. The question was, how will we know what the arrival and dismissal procedure is whenever we actually move into the new building? So there will be multiple opportunities that will go out in the newsletter. It'll go out in paper copy. There will be some meetings that we'll have so you guys can be able to actually hear what the process is going to be. And I know you're thinking about the big massive drive-through. We're not going to be able to utilize the big massive drive-through. We've got a whole nother plan. We have like, guys, we've got like plans and plans and another plan. We're doing all this in phases. So we have old building plans. We have when we first move in plans, and then we have when everything is completed plans. So we will make sure that you get all of that information well before you need it. Yes, ma'am.
Is the air conditioning working in all parts of the building?
Is the air conditioning working in all parts of the buildings? Yes. Okay.
So what is the more than outside part that's making it early to camp? You can't already move in or versus this completion today?
So right now, there's still some like very real things that need to be completed in the new building. But some of the biggest holdups are, when they dug the foundation, it's already at the bottom of the hill and they made. And so now there's a lot of grading work that has to happen in the front of the building, because every time it rains, it just pours to the front of the building, which was part of the problem when the big storm happened. And they didn't have all the exterior doors on, because big equipment is still coming and going. And so we had about 2 feet of water throughout the entire building, so they had to remediate everything, drywall in the building, about 2 feet below. So,
Yeah, but that's not gonna happen. Going
No.
forward.
so before it's considered substantially completed and we can move in, the grading work, it will be low and a drainage can put in for anything that they can't completely make flat, they're installing another drainage system on top of that. And so any kind of rain off will be going into the drainage and away from the building. So we won't have any issues like that moving forward. Yes, ma'am.
Will we be able to see the buildings before that first day where classes starts? Or is that not gonna be?
Let me write that question down, because I can't answer that right now. Like, if you're helping teachers move in, you probably. See? If you want to see the building before the first day of move-in, come and help teachers put stuff in their classrooms. Yes, ma'am.
Can older students help?
That would be up to the teacher's discretion, okay? A question was, can older students assist with the move-in process for teachers? And that will be up to the teacher's discretion on that one. Yes, ma'am. The question was around the current play space up until the 18th. So the question was around the current play space up until the 18th. So that was a part of the construction director's list that I sent to everyone, was to make sure that the outdoor, not just the garden, but also the play spaces are also ready to go. Yes, sir.
When it comes to moving in, moving into the, they need input trucks and training from parents or, moving trucks that are being.
So the question was around when we're asking for manpower for the move-in, what all would be needed? We literally need bodies. The movers are gonna come and pick up, there's a moving company who's gonna bring all the boxes over for us. And then, between DIC, furniture services, as well as the moving company, any furniture pieces that are going with us will be taken that way. We are getting bonds covering brand new furniture all throughout the new building. So any pieces that are going with us are things that teachers, there's a personal items to teachers, or they are still in pristine condition, and we just want a few more bookshelves for inside the furniture. Yes, ma'am.
Will that move-in
September 18th, I believe, is Friday, and then September 23rd is the following Monday. What other questions?
Will still be like last little like, ancient, because there's gonna be some work being done and what would have been while the kids are in school.
After school cleaning, but they really try to have. The question was, will there still be any kind of work going on once students are already in the building? There will be some, there will likely still be some maintenance touch-up, but they try to avoid that as much as possible because it's gonna be all out of contract, it's all gonna be overtime. Because they don't do any of that while students are in the building. So try to avoid that because it's the money. Yes, sir.
About demolition of the building, that replace one kids are in a little bigger day. Okay.
So they still have a final round of abatement. And once that final round of abatement happens, they will change the direction of the fencing and they will start doing some demolition. They have not given me specifics as far as like when the wrecking ball is actually going to be here. They come back to the building, or if that's going to happen more like after hours. And then the parting away is gonna happen while kids are in school. So that's a question. I'm gonna have a little more specifics around that. Because demolition, at least to the parts that are affecting the new building, really should have happened during the summer. and others. What other questions do you have? Yes, ma'am.
Then the week is the Friday, the 20th, Saturday, the 21st.
Yes.
So the 21st, you believe these hours?
Yeah. And it will also depend on when the furniture got delivered, like how early before substantial completion that happens. Because if we had 2 weeks, we do not need as much help that final weekend, because now we had 2 weeks to chip away at it. So it just kind of depends. So if you're interested in helping during that weekend in particular, just keep in touch with me and I'll be able to continue to give you the updates on where we stand on how much time we'll really need over the weekend to get us ready for students. Question? Any other questions?
Someone up here.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you remind us what the long situation is? Or maybe the Outwalker for the whole first year?
It is now new with school plan not to reinstall. So, right.
Not till the first year.
Right, that's right.
There are no walkers.
So a couple of things, some of you heard me talk about it last school year. The district did confirm that everybody is going to get a clear backpack. If you have spent a year watching your child have a clear backpack, you know they don't necessarily last super long. So if you can get a mesh bag, I would suggest a mesh backpack just because they tend to hold up better and longer. They also fold more easily and can be stored much more easily. One of the things that I am going to be asking, if I can't get it covered in bonds, then one of our fundraisers might need to have some clear hooks installed in all the monsters. Not the ones that you and I remember that jut out and like almost blind you. I'm talking about like the ones that are almost vertical and clear, so that people can just actually hang their things. Because as of right now, it's not covered in the plan, but we know that it's a practical necessity. Right now, their solution is, well, your desk has little knockers on them that they can hang their bag on. Unfortunately, if my bag is that close to me, I'm probably messing with my bag, and I'm supposed to be doing other things. So we are going to try to invest in some hooks so that we can keep bags pretty clear of the floor and away from fidgety hands. What other questions? All right, go ahead, one. Go ahead, one.
God bless you all. This could have gone very differently, and y'all are amazing and very, very gracious. And I really appreciate that.
With the uniform exchange process, you do not have to give a uniform to get a uniform. Okay? If you need to get a uniform, you can get 2 and 3 sets. So that would be 2 to 3 shirts and 2 to 3 bottoms for each one of your children. If you did donate, hopefully you received, yes, swag bracelets? Were they? Yes. You would receive a swag bracelet. You may wear your swag bracelet anytime we are doing pay for swag. I remember for those who are doing Riley swag, it's either $1 for jeans and a spirit shirt or a uniform shirt or Riley colors, or $5 and completely dressed up. Just FYI, the first Friday of the school year is a free swag day for all, so don't use your bracelet on the first swag day. You know, like, this is the first week back to school for them too. Like, they don't need to be out there trying to collect money on their first week back. We're celebrating that we had a successful week, because I have a successful week when we're doing that. So the first Friday of the school year will be a free swag, so don't use your bracelet. on the first Friday back to school. Any questions about uniform exchange? Yes, ma'am.
But, folks went out, the spirit picture. I read that were we collecting those at the teacher site, or is that something to include?
Oh, if the parents buy one of the spirit shirts today, they pick up at East Dallas or will it be here?
He's got.
There's a East Dallas. East Dallas. Any other questions? Once again, thank you so much for this wonderful showing. Thank you for the community support that you always bring each and every day. And we are so excited and looking forward to welcoming your students back to school and ready to start the school year. So have a wonderful evening, and please don't hesitate to reach out if any questions pop up for you. I'm an email away.
Thank you all for participating on the Teams call. Again, if you had any questions and you wrote them in the chat, I'm going to look now. Oh, great question for how do you submit an application for Volley? If you, on our website as well as the district website, if you just search Dallas ISD Volley, VOLY, you will be able to access the link to the background check. I'm going to put that in the chat. So in your Google search, you would just put in Dallas ISD and Volley, and that'll take you right to the page. That should be the first option that pops up for you. Just click on that link. It'll take you through the steps. It takes maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And then you get your results usually in about 48 hours. And then I see one from Miss Bosley. What is the link for Power School? I think you might be talking about, to see the student's teacher. Ooh, same thing. If you search Dallas ISD and then type in Power School, the first thing that should come up is a link that'll direct you to where you can sign in as a parent. If you have any issues with the sign in, I'm going to drop the CRC's email into the chat. You can reach out to her and she can help you with any Power School issues that you might have. She will be at training for the next 2 days, and so she may not be super quick to respond, but she will get back to you. And August 8th is Meet the Teacher. Let's see if there's any other questions. All right, I think that was all the questions. Once again, thank you all very, very much for being here this evening, and you guys have a great night.